Well, there you have it, lads and lasses. It's finished at St James's Park. 3-2 on the night. 9-3 on aggregate after the 6-1 lead coming into this game after the first leg out in Azerbaijan, in Baku, of course, against Qarabag. But tonight we're finished it. We're signed, sealed, delivered it. Newcastle United are into the last 16 of the Champions League, and that means that we will face either Chelsea or Barcelona in the next round. The draw for that will be, of course, on Friday coming at 11 a.m. Of course, GMT time, so UK time. And I've got to say, it was never in doubt, was it? You know, we were coming into this one 6-1 lead, and Qarabag, fair play to them. You know, they scored 2 goals in this game. They did a little bit better than what they did in the game out in Baku. I've got to say that. You know, the goal by their player Duran, really, really good goal. There was no way Dan Burn was going to be able to catch up with him, and the way he finished it as well was a really good goal, so credit to them on that. Unfortunately for them, they did see him go off the pitch injured. Hopefully for them, you know, that isn't a really bad injury. You don't want to see anybody really, you know, getting seriously hurt. And I think, you know, we just played the game out the way we wanted to. We didn't really have to overexert ourselves, and that's no disrespect, by the way, you know, to the Qarabag players or the Qarabag manager or the Qarabag fans. Fair play to them as well. You know, I think they had about 1,000 allocation, 350 odd of their fans came that 5,000 mile journey. So fair play to them. Fair play to them for that. And they did at least try and put up a fight in the game, even with that massive scoreline against them. But we were just, you know, obviously too good and too many levels ahead of course, Qarabag. And like I say, no disrespect whatsoever to them by saying that. You know, at the end of the day, it's obvious. We're Premier League side. We're playing one of the best leagues in the world, if not the best league in the world. And, you know, Qarabag are playing in that Azerbaijan Premier League, which is obviously going to have its problems. But they are, you know, one of the best sides from that country. So fair play to them. They put up a good fight tonight, but we were just obviously too many levels ahead, and it was just too far for them. And they came in very late as well, arriving, you know, very late on the day of the match today, by the way, coming in to Newcastle to play this game, not arriving the day beforehand like you would see most teams. So even the, you know, the manager and the players must have thought themselves, you know, that is way too hard of a task to come back from a 6-1 down a result on aggregate. But goals by Joe Linton tonight, brilliant goal. The opening goal, of course, by Sandro Tonali, absolutely brilliant. 4 minutes in, and then only a matter of 2 minutes later, we're seeing, you know, Joe Linton getting the ball played across to him from Harvey Barnes outside the box, comes across into an open shot chance for Joe Linton at the back post. There's no way he's missing that, and he puts it away cool, calmly, and on the volley into the back of the net. And we're literally coming off the replay of Amazon Prime showing Tonali's goal, and we see, you know, the replay come finish, and Joe Linton, of course, banging in the second of the game. And then we did get to see Sven Botman as well, 52nd minute of the game, of course, getting his first Champions League goal. And we got to see, of course, Leo Shaha coming on as well for his Champions League debut, and his debut for Newcastle United as well. I've got to say, looking at it, I thought we did really, really well in that game. I thought we played really well in the game. And yes, it could have been a much bigger scoreline, but I think, you know, we showed some respect to, of course, Qarabag, and of course the referee was showing some respect there to Qarabag as well. Absolutely no added time going in. It's half time. He just blew the whistle and we went in for half time. So obviously there was a little bit show of respect there. At the end of the day, we didn't want to overexert ourselves because we've got, you know, the league to also think about. But, you know, at the end of the day, we pretty much had this game done, dusted and finished. when, you know, we played them out in Baku only 6 days ago, I believe it was. That crazy how time flies, but only 6 days ago. But let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. What was your man of the match, of course, for this game? I've got to say, I think, to be honest, one of the standout players in tonight's game would probably say Voltmade. To be honest, he looked really good again in that 10 role, playing around the link up play between the defense and, of course, the attack, doing really, really well at that. Not that there's a lot of people giving him praise for it, but I thought, you know, he did really well once again in that position. That's a position that I says, you know, that he should be playing in, right behind the striker. It's somewhere that, you know, he can get the best of his abilities going forward, and we're seeing it again tonight, you know, doing really, really well and getting in there, getting the passes. He doesn't always have to score to be, you know, doing well at the end of the day. It can be teamwork, it can be passing, it can be linking up play, it can just be being involved in the game. You know, you don't have to always score to be classed as doing well at the end of the day. And that is what a lot of people seem to forget with, you know, the players. They start thinking because they're not scoring, they're not doing well. But you need to look at, you know, the other things that they're doing on the pitch, the movement, the positioning into certain areas, the clinical passing, the other different stuff that is going on. You know, the leadership, look how they, you know, communicating with their teammates on the pitch as well. That's a lot of stuff that you've got to look at. It's not all about goals. Even if the game is all about goals, it's not always all about goals on how a player is performing. And that is my, of course, thoughts on that. But I thought Voltmade did really, really well in the game tonight. And of course, happy to see Botman get his first Champions League goal. Happy, of course, to see Leo Shaha as well coming on the 87th minute. And Gordon did come on the 54th minute of the game. He didn't start the game, but he did come on the 54th, and he had a few chances, but unfortunately wasn't able to bag any more goals than what he bagged in the first leg out in Baku. But anyway, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Till next time, I'll see you all in the next one. However, lads.